ran off ahead. Watching Gu Changa's overwhelming display, Wang Ziqin couldn't help but sigh. This is insane. Even at my full power, I can barely handle a single sect leader. And here I am, a transmigrator, yet I feel like a complete failure. It's like he's the real protagonist of destiny. No, he's a born villain. Suddenly, a few people tore open the void, attempting to flee. Wang Ziqin immediately warned, "Brother Gu, they're trying to escape." Gu Changa chuckled. "They won't get away." As soon as he spoke, he manifested a massive hand that reached into the void and yanked a person out. Tianhuan was terrified. Gu Changa. In reality, all of this happened in an instant. At that moment, Gu Changa had already seized the talisman from Jiang Luoqin's hand. He then burned the talisman to ashes, leaving her bewildered. Standing before her, he spoke calmly, "You'd better make good use of your remaining time." As soon as he finished speaking, he reached out and grasped her throat. Blood splattered as Jiang Luoqin gasped in pain, coughing uncontrollably. Only now did she finally feel fear. Her voice trembled as she asked, "Gu Changa, are you really going to kill me? If I die here, what benefit does that bring you?" He smiled gently. "Princess Luoqin, what nonsense are you spouting? How could I possibly do such a thing? It's just that you fought with the sect leaders over the Taishu divine persona, and they joined forces to kill you. Unfortunately, you perished here." The elderly woman acting as her protector immediately rushed forward, roaring in fury, "Gu Changa, let go of the princess." Gu Changa agreed without hesitation. "Sure, here you go." With that, he casually flung Jiang Luoqin, hurling her forcefully toward the elderly woman. However, by the time the elderly woman caught her, Jiang Luoqin's body was already covered in cracks. She let out a scream of agony, "Ah!" The elderly woman panicked and cried out, "Princess!" Before she could finish speaking, Jiang Luoqin's body suddenly exploded. Her younger brother screamed in terror, "Royal sister!" It turned out Jiang Luoqin wasn't completely dead. She had summoned her true form and roared, "Gu Changa, die!" A massive phantom hand stretched out, attempting to seize Gu Changa. However, he remained unshaken and said calmly, "So it was just a puppet substitute. And not just any, this is a Daoyan incarnation, a quasi-emperor level technique. As expected of the Taishu God clan's princess, you have quite a few life-saving tricks up your sleeve." But unfortunately, as he spoke, he slowly retrieved a killing weapon. Jiang Luoqin originally thought she had Gu Changa cornered, but when she saw what he was holding, she was so terrified that her soul nearly left her body. "That's an Emperor-tier weapon." Gu Changa didn't waste words and directly slashed out with his sword, forcing the quasi-emperor phantom to retreat. The phantom's hands were corroded by the sword aura and immediately disintegrated. "Damn it! Gu Changa, do you really have to kill me?" Hearing her plead for her life, he offered her a chance. "If you're willing to become my servant." Before he could finish, the entire tomb suddenly shook violently as if it were about to collapse. Jiang Luoqin was stunned. "What's happening?" Gu Changa sneered. "What impeccable timing." On the other side, Jiang Shen was urged by Xiao Zhu. "While Jiang Luoqin can still hold on, we should run." Seeing this, Jiang Luoqin also rushed over. "Granny Jean, you're burning your lifeblood." The old woman gritted her teeth. "I must ensure the princess leaves safely." Soon, their figures began to fade. Before disappearing, Jiang Luoqin gritted her teeth and shouted, "Gu Changa." Watching the two flee, Gu Changa let out a cold snort. "They sure run fast. But it's just as well, no one will bother me while I take the divine essence." With that, he reached out to grab the divine essence. However, the moment his hand got close, the divine essence released sharp light blades, slicing his palm open and causing blood to spill. "Oh! You dare reject me?" Do you intend to save yourself for the Taishu divine clan's descendants? A ruthless glint flashed across his face. Quite bold. But since I'm here, you have no other choice. The divine essence seemed to tremble in fear, its radiance instantly dimming, as if breaking out in a cold sweat. Outside, the tomb's collapse triggered a massive earthquake, splitting the ground open with countless giant fissures. People screamed in panic. Run! The underground palace is collapsing. What's happening? There are still many people inside. Soon, several beams of light shot out from the ruins. Someone's coming out. One of them was King Lu Guan, who was carrying two young women in his arms. After landing, he immediately asked Ming Kong and the others, "Are you all alright? Is anyone still inside? I'll go assist." The Heavenly Empress quickly responded, "Young Lord Chang'e hasn't come out yet." The moment he heard it was Gu Chang'e, King Lu Guan waved it off. Forget about him. Just then, Wang Ziqin finally rushed out of the underground palace, still shaken. That was terrifying. Soa anxiously asked, "Wang Ziqin, where's Gu Chang'e? Weren't you together?" Wang Ziqin looked utterly confused. "I don't know. The underground palace started collapsing, so I just ran." Hearing this, Qian'er trembled with rage and shouted, "How very convenient." Wang Ziqin ignored her and instead gazed off into the distance. Speaking calmly. "Right now, we should focus on saving ourselves. Besides, he's so cunning, he probably won't even die by the final episode. And anyway, shouldn't you all be more concerned about me first?" As she spoke, she transmitted a message, "You can't just forget about your sister now that you have a lover. That's way too hurtful." Soa chuckled and replied, "But you're fine." The elders of the various sects suddenly cried out in shock, "Ah! Ah!" The sect master's token shattered. How is this possible? The sect master had just stepped into the quasi-supreme realm, how could he have died here? Even our patriarch is gone. Patriarch, ah! Upon hearing this, Wang Ziqin thought to himself, "I remember there was no such Tongtian patriarch in the secret chamber. Could it be?" Suddenly, someone shouted, "This must be a trap set by the Taishu divine clan, making the great Daoist lineages and factions pay the price for coming here." Another person chimed in, "This is too much. They truly want to be our enemies, daring to kill our sect master. Look! Someone else is coming out." A golden light shot out from the dust below. It's the young master of the Gu family. He seems injured. Mingkong saw him clutching his chest and immediately called out, "Chang'e." Several people nearby saw him emerge and felt regretful, muttering to themselves, "What a pity. Why didn't he die in the underground palace?" Exactly. With him around, how can we younger generations ever hold our heads high? Mingkong quickly stepped forward to support Gu Chang'e, gently wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth. "Are you alright?" He replied, "I'm fine. Sorry to make you worry." Qian'er also stepped forward. "Gu Chang'e, the treasure." "Ah, no, I forgot to ask. Are you okay?" Wang Ziqin, standing to the side, nudged Suasua. "If you like him, just go for it." Suasua immediately retorted, "Don't talk nonsense." Disciples from the various sects gathered around and asked, "Young Master Chang'e, do you know what exactly happened inside? Why did it suddenly collapse? Yeah, what about the people from the Taishu divine clan? Are they all dead?" Gu Chang'e immediately took on a solemn expression and sighed. "Alas! We underestimated the Taishu divine clan. This is their ancestors' burial ground, they naturally had countermeasures prepared. I was originally competing with them for the godhood, but I didn't expect that the godhood would only recognize their descendants. After they obtained it, they escaped through a secret passage and even tried to bury us all here. Do you all remember that among their group, there was an ordinary-looking person following a mysterious monk? One person suddenly realized, the one wearing the bamboo hat. It was him. Gu Chang'e nodded. That's right. This person was able to control all the formations here. The collapse of the palace was caused by him. Upon hearing this, the crowd immediately became enraged. So it was him. He dared to scheme against our sect master, he must not be forgiven. We must return to our sects, gather our forces, and hunt them down. Yes. We must seek justice from the Taishu divine clan. Gu Chang'e secretly felt delighted, reveling in their misfortune, while Mingkong saw through everything. She knew that all of this was Gu Chang'e's doing. Moments later, Gu Chang'e and his group were already on their flying boat, heading back to the academy. On the boat, Xiao Ruoyin and the others cupped their hands in farewell. Senior brother Gu, we will take our leave first. At that moment, Xiao Ruoyin sent a secret voice transmission. Young master, next time we meet, I will make sure you see me in a new light. Gu Chang'e smiled and replied, all right. Send my regards to the palace master and the elders. Meanwhile, Gu Qianer was speaking with Mingkong. Qianer, aren't you returning to the True Immortal Academy? I'm not going back. I still have some matters to handle. Mingkong glanced at Gu Chang'e and asked, don't you need his help? Qianer shook her head. No need. I can handle it myself. Then be careful. With that, Qianer quickly departed. Wang Ziqin thought to himself, judging by her reaction and Gu Chang'e's way of doing things, I'm at least 80% sure, the real, human ancestor, is Gu Chang'e. Being around someone like him is simply exhilarating. The scene shifts to the Taishu divine clan, inside a grand palace. A voice rang out. Luochen, is everything you said true? If it is, then that Gu brat's actions are despicable, he is utterly unworthy of being called the #1 genius of his generation. Jiang Luochen responded solemnly, every word I said is true, without a single falsehood. If not for the substitute puppet bestowed upon me by my father, I might not have escaped this time. Gu Chang'e is not only unfathomably powerful but also incredibly ruthless and cunning. I understand now, this person must not be underestimated. After all, even the Grand Elder of the Purple Palace was defeated by him. But right now, all the blame has been placed on us, and the most urgent matter is dealing with the situation where bought time for her escape. Yet, she shamelessly framed me. Once I gain enough strength, I'll make sure she wishes for death but cannot die. The old monk spoke slowly, it's useless to say these things now. Benefactor Jiang, I believe we should find a place to hide first. The old monk replied indifferently, Foshan Xiankong Temple. The scene shifts to Gu Chang'e's location. As he absorbed, he pondered, Jiang Luochen knows I have the divine status. The words she spoke this time were clearly meant to show weakness. Congratulations, you still get to keep your life. After finishing the absorption, he slowly landed. Sigh. Qingya has already gone to the Ji family, and Ji Qingxian is also managing the territory of the 13 Dao sects for me. Looks like I'll have to take action myself. Saying this, he took out a table, a teapot, and some herbs. A voice came from outside, Master, Princess Luochen of the Taishu divine clan is requesting an audience outside the academy. He pondered for a moment before replying, let her in. Outside, one of Gu Chang'e's subordinates said, Princess Luochen, my master is waiting for you in the hall. Please enter. Not to pursue the matter, and the Taishu divine clan has no reason to be enemies with the Changxing Gu family. As long as you remain silent, what do you think? Gu Chang'e slowly stood up and replied, I think it's utterly ridiculous. Hearing this, she asked, what did you say? He continued, first, since I dared to kill them, I'm naturally not afraid of their revenge. Given my Gu family's strength, how many powerful figures do they have that can actually kill me? Second, anyone with sufficiently high soul cultivation can easily alter part of their memories. Are you sure the Taishu divine clan wants to compete with me in terms of credibility? Ah, this. Then what exactly do you want in exchange for your agreement? He swiftly tossed the folding fan to her. It's very simple. You stay behind, serving both as a hostage and as a maid. He coldly retorted, are you sure? Then there's no reason for the Taishu divine clan to exist anymore. She trembled in fear upon hearing this. Can't you change the condition? Or pick someone else? My younger sister, perhaps. Jiang Luotian pondered in her heart, I am the future divine emperor of the Taishu divine clan. But on the surface, she asked, why does it have to be me? He replied, your siblings sure are lucky. Although your personality is a bit terrible, your looks barely meet my standards. Hearing this, she clenched her fists tightly but had no choice but to say, I accept your conditions. But you can't force me to do things I don't want to, and you must not harm the interests of the Taishu divine clan. Also, I will not serve anyone. Gu Chang'e remained indifferent and directly threatened, in front of me, you'd best put away your princess-like attitude. You won't serve. Then learn. If you refuse to learn. At this point, he revealed his signature smile, looked at her, and said, then I'll just kill you. Seeing the murderous intent on his face, Jiang Luotian was terrified and broke into a cold sweat. In another room, a voice rang out. What? Mingkong angrily asked, she's staying and not leaving. She thought to herself, so the princess of Luotian finally went to find Chang'e. Some things are inevitable, no matter how much one tries to avoid them. The scene shifted to the chaotic star territory, bustling with people. An old man asked, hey, have you heard about the Spring Wind Jade Tower? At this moment, a crack split open in the sky. Gu Chang'e stepped out of the rift, thinking to himself, there's still no news of Bai Lianer. Does she not intend to save Elder Bai? Forget it, I'll take him back to the Gu family first. At that moment, Qing Xian, who had taken on the alias Qingge, approached and asked, young master, why have you come here? Very smoothly. Over this period, profits have increased by at least 30% compared to when the 13 thieves ruled. He said, I'm waiting for someone, and in the meantime, I need you to help me pick a few saints. A moment later, Jiang Luotian arrived with her subordinates. The people behind her respectfully cupped their fists, young master Chang'e. Seeing this, Qing Xian secretly pondered, is the young master looking for a new mate again? Well, that makes sense, my sister and I are no longer by his side. Although Jiang Luotian was aggressive, he still said, I hold no resentment. The scene shifts to the Xianyang domain of the demon realm. This is the Black and White Academy, where people were engaged in discussions. As they talked, a young man approached, and several women recognized him. A woman entered and asked, why did you call for me? You called for me, how could I not come? But time is short, so speak quickly. Her Majesty the Queen urgently needs manpower, and if I don't find an excuse, I fear I won't be able to slip away. Hearing this, the young man asked with concern, are you very busy? Is it for welcoming the person from the upper realm? Who exactly is he, that he warrants such a grand mobilization? Jun Fan asked directly, is it Gu Chang'e? Oh. What is he doing in the demon realm? Hearing this, Jun Fan gritted his teeth and pondered, that wretched Ji Jiao, does she want to press pear blossoms against the crabapple tree? An allusion to an older woman taking a younger lover asterisk. She's 6,000 years older than Gu Chang'e, old enough to be his ancestor. Suddenly, Qing Zhu hurriedly left. Jun Fan, I have to go. If the queen finds out I left, she'll definitely punish me. After she left, Jun Fan smiled faintly. Ji Jiao, you would never have guessed that your personal attendant, Qing Zhu, is actually my agent, would you? The scene shifts to the night, inside Queen Ji Jiao's palace, where a grand banquet was in full swing. A drunken elder struck up a conversation with two people beside him. I am the demon realm's king of chaos suppression. You two brothers are so strong, where did you serve under young Lord Changa before? A